Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. There's one expression that comes into my head. Act like you've been here before. Chelsea have not been here before, and it was evident. Last few minutes, you need to go and attack in a cohesive unit. These players didn't know what to do. They lost their heads. They absolutely let the last 5 minutes of the game whittle away. They played so well in the beginning. They got sucker punched, and this game consistently comes back to that expression. Act like you've been here before. And a lot of them haven't, and we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to break this down. Levi Colwell's mistakes, that 5 minutes from hell that absolutely made him look like a muppet. Tosin did not know what he was doing. Sanchez, brother, are you ever going to learn to pass the ball, or am I going to have to consistently repeat myself? Or another thing, you're allowed to come out and use your hands. Where was the authority? The ball's in your 6-yard box. Commit to it. Reece James letting runners go. And the annoying thing is, we were in that game the whole way through, but we just didn't act like we've been there before. We're going to talk about the good, we're going to talk about the bad, and we're going to talk about the downright ugly. A lot of us are going to be acting like it's the end of the world. It's not. This is the barometer of where we are. When you accept your current position in life, you can put stuff in place to move forward. We are far better than we were 12 months ago, and we are far better than we were 24 months ago. We are a top 4 side, and once we accept that, we can start putting the fundamentals in place. The reality is, hit that like button if you're new to the channel, subscribe. 1,000 likes goes a long way. I really appreciate if you lot hit that like button right now, because you will forget, but it's the best way to support the channel. Let's get started. Straight out of the back, we need to talk about the ugly, then we'll get into the bad, then we'll get into the good. Because the ugly truth is, from the beginning, Tosin looked out of place. Tosin has been amazing since he's come in, right? He's just been steady Eddie. He had a very good performance against Bournemouth. Today, he looked shaky. And today, he looked nervous. Today, he understood that the gears have changed. And all of a sudden, first pass, gives it away. Second one, should be getting sent off. If Arsenal's Saliba was a red card, I would have fully understood if the referee sent him off. He didn't send him off. I feel like after yesterday's decision, we got away with one. I'm not saying Saliba's was a red card. I'm not saying Tosin's was a red card. But if you take into context of what happened yesterday, he should have been sent off in the first half. Yet he didn't. He looked very nervy on the ball. There was one opportunity when I think Curtis Jones just ran off him, and he just watched him run. I'm like, brother, track your runner. Run. He didn't run, and we gave a penalty away from that moment in time. It's frustrating, but he looked risky and out of place. His partner, on the other hand, I thought Colwell had a good first 30 minutes. Then Colwell had 5 minutes in hell. And I'm genuinely going to explain. He went into a hell in cell match with him and anyone in sight. Literally anybody on sight was getting it. In my opinion, he was lucky not to give away a penalty against Mohamed Salah, because Salah played him like a veteran. You need to understand, today we saw the best of Mohamed Salah. We saw a brilliant pass assist with that beautiful ball that he loves to do to the back stick. We saw a great penalty when you needed a cool cucumber. He stepped up and took it. You also saw the elegance of the player. And one of them was, he suckered, Levi into a physical duel. Bossed him, because Salah does that to many players. And then he invited Levi to come kick me. And he kicked him, but he invited the challenge. So what happened was, the ref let it go. The ref said it wasn't a penalty. But for me, on another day, you give that away, because another referee views it differently. But what does Levi do straight after? Ball hits him, blocked. It drops into the in the 6-yard box, and what happens? You've got Colwell trying to get the ball. He goes to kick it. Very shaky, very quick, very reactionary. And he doesn't get nowhere near it. He connects with Curtis Jones. Penalty, 1-0 Liverpool. As if things didn't get worse, what did I say at the start of the video? Act like you've been here before. Act like you've been in this situation before. A lot of these players haven't. Why? 1-1. Jackson gets us back into it. We'll talk about it later. Within minutes, Liverpool isolate our fullback one-on-one, Gusto stays off him. Mistake number 1. Know your players. Know Mohamed Salah loves an in-swinging cross into the back stick. Okay, first mistake. Second mistake, Everybody's got a tight line. Reece James is deep. Reece James realizes, oh no, I need to push up a bit to make the line a little bit more straight. He sees Curtis Jones coming. He tries to play him offside. He gambles. Don't gamble. Do not gamble in that situation. Go with your runner. Make sure you're there, because if you're there, in my opinion, that goal doesn't happen. Secondly, it's in your 6-yard box. Sanchez has to come. Not only did Curtis Jones take a touch to stop the ball, he also had time to fix his feet because Sanchez didn't commit. And Gary Neville said it perfectly. He was like, Sanchez was hesitant. And I don't know whether the second penalty that we gave away today that was overturned played on his mind. But for me, he was far too hesitant. You have to come and clean everyone out there. You need to make sure Jones does not understand, who he is after that moment, because you swiped him out. You make sure he forgets his mum's name. That's how much you swipe him out by getting the ball. But yet, he didn't. But yet, he made sure that Jones had time to flick it past him. It was a very tentative finish as well. That's what irritated me more than anything. And 2-1, and then Liverpool went into cruise control mode. And the final thing that really rattled me was, because I am rattled today, I'm not even going to lie to you. The players lost their heads. Whether it was Caicedo shouting at Szoboszlai in the first half, whether it was Nunes and Badiashile, absolutely, we're losing here, and it's becoming a rough and tumble. They're pushing each other, they're shoving each other. This isn't a battle over the ball. This is just them losing their heads. And then we have 5-7 minutes added on. Build some attacks, and it reminded me of that Crystal Palace game, the second half, where the players lost ideas. They didn't know what to do. They panicked. And for me, this comes when the team's young, they haven't been in this situation before, and it ends up happening where they're just not understanding what to do in the time of the game. And if anything, Liverpool looked like they were going to score more at injury time. We had a few opportunities. Renato Vega had the header, and Neto had his opportunity. But that's it. Now let's get into the bad. And this is the intricate stuff that we're going to talk about. Because Sancho, in the first half, right? We started very well. You get the ball into the final third, as Pep says, then it's up to you to make sure that you win us the game. Sancho gets Trent one-on-one 3 times. Each time, doesn't do what he's meant to do. People are going to say there was a penalty shout that should have went Chelsea's way. For me, that's one of those 50% get given, 50% done. He steps on his foot, however, they are both placing their foot, and it's just bad luck. Genuinely, I think it's one of those things where it is not a clear-cut penalty. Yes, he lands on his ankle, however, he's flat-footed. They're both, I don't think you can give penalties for those. There wasn't enough intent, nor was there enough contact. I think Sancho over-egged it. But Sancho as well just did not beat his man. There was one occasion, he comes inside and he's consistently looking to release the ball to someone. There's no threat to get to the byline and cross it. There's no threat that I'm going to shoot. It's always the interchange. He's always trying to create. And it's so annoying because he's better than that. He's so much better than that. Then, Palmer, Noni, and Jackson. First half, they were non-existent. Cole Palmer didn't play in today's game. I genuinely think he was invisible. He was one of the most invisible players on the pitch. I thought Noni, every time he got it, he looked dangerous, but he turned into Mudryk today. He didn't get the ball in that first half. Every time he got the ball, Robbo was threatened by him. And what they were doing was, Robbo was going behind, and Gakpo was coming across to almost be like the initial test. You get past Gakpo, because we expect you to. If your touch isn't on point, I'm going to come and clean up. And that was happening consistently. And the few times that he got Robbo one-on-one, he was going past him. But we didn't do it enough. Jackson was just invisible in the game. I didn't see him, and it was annoying, but Jackson needs people to create for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those things. Then we need to talk about the other aspect that I didn't like in this game. The control was not there. We lost it consistently, and it made me really worried for upcoming games because we're going to have big games, and this team needs to know how to create chances and when they arrive, to take them. For example, Renato Vega's chance was not converted. The brilliant ball from Pedro Neto at the end, not converted. Palmer got one where Neto absolutely ripped Trent, goes into the middle, Gravenberch can't take him down, he lays it off to Palmer. Palmer has to lay it off to Noni. He has to give the ball to Noni there. It's that Wolves goal over and over again. He didn't. He went for the shot himself and he wasted it. And opportunities like that, Liverpool way, don't come often. We need to do better. I'm sorry, we have to be better. Now we need to talk about the good. The team lineup surprised me. And the reason it surprised me was because I didn't expect Lavia, nor did I expect Reece James to start. Both players had good games. I think Reece's mistake will overshadow it, but he played very good. You wouldn't tell that Reece James was out for as long as he has been. He was just composed. He was good on the ball, gives us a new dimension. His passing's good. He's going to be a great asset going forward. Let's just hope he stays fit. Romeo Lavia is everything you want in a 6. Combative, good on the ball, opens up his body, ability to just run past players like they're not there. Just an all-round top 6. And when the substitutions were happening, by the way, the subs were good, man. I saw Gary Neville saying, oh no, the subs had no impact on the game. The subs weren't, in my opinion, intended to come on and win the game for Chelsea. It was 1-1 when those subs were going to happen. Neto, Viega, and Badiashile were going to come on for what? Why? Neto was coming on for, Sancho at halftime. Great. We knew that was going to happen. Viega was going to come on for Reece James because Gusto was going to go right back and Reece had enough. You're going to have Enzo come on for Lavia because he can't play more than like 45 minutes, which makes sense. And the final one, Badiashile for Tosin. And I think Badiashile did okay when he came on. I don't think he was shaky, nor do I think I was ever intimidated he was going to make a mistake. He was just good. I thought Neto created a lot of chances and he's really pushing to start. Jackson. Sorry about the cough. Jackson was the one that, for me, really impressed in terms of 1 chance, 1 goal. Jackson arced his run well this time, and because he arced his run, he was onside. And when he was onside, he finished it like an absolute pro. He took it with so much conviction, he took it with so much confidence. It's just frustrating that it amounted to nothing because we gave it away 3 minutes later. Jackson's finish was amazing. Other than that, Jackson done nothing else in the game. But I can't lie to you, sometimes your strikers just have to do that. He linked up the play here and there. I thought literally 0 to 30 minutes, we were the better team. Liverpool took control and capitalized. We couldn't capitalize. Then in the second half, we made it 1-1. And then we fell asleep and they took over. And for me, that's just unacceptable, man. Like, you got to be better. We made some chances, we huffed and puffed, but I think Liverpool were always under control. I looked at the stats at the end of the game, and the stats don't paint the picture that I watched. The stats made it look like we were far more competitive in this game. And maybe my emotions are heightened, so I'm a little bit annoyed. But for me, I just think we need to be better, man. We do, but it is what it is. Yo, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. There will be more feedback after the game tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're waiting out for the Kavkas View because, man, it's frustrating, but this is the journey that we're on now. We need to accept it and we need to work through it together as a team. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely night. Bye.